Painting and finishing aren't decoration, they're transformation. They turn raw material into a finished product, protect what you've built, and communicate your craftsmanship long after the tools are packed away. Whether it's a cabin wall, a custom door, or a simple deck, your finish tells the world how serious you are about your work. So today, let's walk through the complete process of painting and finishing like a professional, step by step, from surface prep to final coat. Let's start where every great finish begins: preparation. Most DIYers rush this part, and that's why their paint peels, bubbles, or looks uneven within months. Professionals know your surface is 80% of your finish. Paint just reveals how well you prepared. Begin by cleaning thoroughly. Dust, oil, and dirt kill adhesion. Use a mild degreaser or TSP solution to wipe down wood, metal, or drywall surfaces. Let it dry completely. Then inspect. Look for cracks, nail holes, or dents. Fill them with wood filler or joint compound, depending on the surface. Once cured, sand everything smooth. For wood, start with 120 grit sandpaper, then move to 180 for finishing. Always sand with the grain. For walls, feather the edges of any repair so no ridge shows through paint. And here's the pro move: vacuum and tack cloth. Wipe down every inch with a tack cloth to remove micro dust. Dust is invisible until the light hits it after painting, and then it's too late. Now you're ready for the most underrated step: priming. Primer isn't just a base coat, it's chemistry. It seals the surface, improves adhesion, and ensures your top coat spreads evenly. If you skip primer, your paint soaks unevenly into porous areas, leaving blotches and dull spots. For raw wood, use an oil-based or shellac primer. For drywall, water-based primers work best. For previously painted surfaces, a bonding primer guarantees new paint sticks properly. Always tint your primer toward the final color. That trick reduces the number of top coats needed and creates deeper, more professional tones. Next comes paint selection, and this is where builders separate from hobbyists. Interior or exterior, oil-based or water-based, satin, semi-gloss, or matte. Each has purpose, and knowing when to use which is what makes your work look intentional. For exterior projects, durability rules. Acrylic latex paint resists weather, UV, and cracking. Use flat or satin for siding, semi-gloss for trim. For interior builds, match the finish to the traffic. Matte hides imperfections, perfect for ceilings. Eggshell gives soft reflection, ideal for living spaces. Semi-gloss and gloss are tough and washable, best for doors, kitchens, or workshops. Oil-based paints give deeper, richer tones but take longer to dry. Water-based paints are cleaner, faster, and easier to maintain. The modern pro knows when to trade depth for efficiency. Now, application. Here's where 90% of amateur work fails, not because of bad paint, but because of bad technique. For brushwork, invest in high-quality synthetic bristles. Cheap brushes shed, streak, and ruin the finish. Load your brush 1/3 deep, not halfway, and tap, don't wipe, against the can. Start from the wet edge and maintain it. Never let paint dry midsection. For rollers, choose the nap based on your surface. Smooth walls, 3/8 nap. Textured or rough surfaces, 1/2 to 3/4. Roll in overlapping W patterns to distribute paint evenly, then smooth out in long vertical passes. And always work from top to bottom. For large projects or cabinetry, consider HVLP spraying. It delivers factory-grade finishes with minimal overspray. The secret? Consistent distance and motion. Start moving before you trigger and release after each pass. That's how pros avoid blotching and buildup. Once your first coat is on, wait. Drying isn't a suggestion, it's chemistry setting in motion. Most latex paints need 4 to 6 hours between coats. Oil-based paints, 24 hours. Check humidity and temperature. Too cold or too humid, and you'll trap moisture inside the film. Between coats, lightly sand with 220 grit paper. It smooths imperfections and helps the next layer bond. Then remove the dust again. Patience here creates glass-like surfaces that scream professionalism. Apply your second coat the same way. Thin, even, deliberate. Remember, 2 thin coats beat 1 thick one every single time. Thick paint drips, cracks, and ages badly. Thin coats cure hard and stay beautiful. Once you're satisfied, Let's talk finishing touches, the final layer of protection and refinement. For woodwork, this means sealers or clear coats. Polyurethane, lacquer, or natural oils. Each tells a different story. Polyurethane gives high durability for floors and tabletops. Lacquer offers a sleek, professional sheen ideal for furniture. Natural oils like tung or Danish oil bring warmth and depth to wood grain, enhancing character without the shine. Apply in thin coats, let each cure fully, and sand lightly between layers. Never rush your final finish. It's what separates fine craftsmanship from weekend DIY. For painted projects, finish with caulk and edge cleanup. Run a clean line of painter's caulk between trims and walls. Remove tape before the final coat dries to avoid tearing edges. Use a fine razor to clean lines if needed. The difference between good and great is visible at the corners. Crisp edges, no overlaps, no brush tails. Now step back and look at what you've done. It's not just color, it's precision, patience, and pride materialized. Professional painting and finishing aren't about expensive tools or fancy techniques. They're about discipline, the willingness to sand one more time, to clean every speck of dust, to wait for perfect curing instead of rushing to the next step. Every surface you paint, every finish you polish, it's your signature. It's how people remember your work. Because in the end, great craftsmanship isn't loud. It's silent perfection. The light hits your wall, your door, your wood grain, and it just looks right. That's when you know you've painted like a professional.